Alright, Shalom. First, I can start by saying all praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth with sincerity. Now, this lesson, as you can see, is going to be about a couple points that Dr. Umar made. One of the last statements he just said, too, also was basically how Israel, which consists of the blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, so it's not all about black people, but how they give their kids over to Esau, the white man, until they older, till they get grown, and then that's when Jake started to try to implement how to take care of themselves and everything. It'd be too late by then. That's when the parents start to really get involved and try to say, or even in between them times, where they actually try to say, this is how you're supposed to treat your body, eat, and all this other stuff. But Esau, from, like you said, from birth to 12, then already messed up the child's mind through the school system, and then from 12 on up, just get progressively worse. But he said birth to 12 because he know at 12 years old, Israelite men are considered grown at that age, man. So, but yeah, I'm going to start with this scripture real quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Right, so you're supposed to come in this truth at a flock as a young man. That's why he trying to start these schools and build these kids up from preschool, kindergarten on up. Because you know that's how you get the kids. You got to start at young. You can't teach them nothing when they get too old, man. That's why the scripture says, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Right, so, you got to come in this as a young man, man. Nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And we all know that, actually, as far as the scripture goes, you're supposed to come in as in the truth as a young man. And then, don't come in when you're older when you say, well, I ain't got no pleasure, in the world, and, when you did all this wickedness. And then, also, the truth is not for, like, older people, man. Like the scriptures say, you can't put new wine into old bottles. You do have some exceptions, but, the Lord prefers to come in as younger men, man. But I'm going to go ahead and continue some of this clip because he can get into a couple things as far as eating right and, more so eating right. I'm going to just bring out the scriptures as he speak on it.
The fact that half of all black men in America are unemployed, that nearly half of all of our children grow up in poverty. Poverty dictates.
Right, now, with that statement being made, I'm going to keep interjecting every time, something come out where I can bring a scripture. We are unemployed because of the curses that's up on us, man. This society is coming down right before our faces, and they failing to realize that they supposed to be telling the people that we are Israelites, because it ain't nothing we can do to stop it. We can't start our own Black Wall Street again. Jake got to come back to the truth. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right, so we have curses on us. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, right? That's why we all up in the ghettos and in the projects. And cursed shalt thou be in the field, right? In the whole world, man, because we scattered across the whole face of the earth, man. We're not only in America, man. We all over the world. And it's not no African thing. Leo Scipio Africanus and Amerigo Vespucci gave us the names, man. It's an Israelite thing. Blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, man. And that's one reason why, the curses on us now, because the niggas like him, man, pushing out this pan-Africanism, man. But, that's still all a part of the program that Yahweh Shema Shai also. Because the Lord said he'd be giving people strong delusions, man. It says, All right, I'm going to continue.
It's a certain type of a diet, a very low income, malnourished, very sweet.
Right, low income. He gonna break it down. Restaurant food is one of the aspects of it, but not only restaurant food. They make pork very cheap. They make the foods that can kill us very cheap in the society that we live in, man. And not only that, a lot of the food that we eat is poison. All the food that we eat is poison. As a matter of fact, it's called GMOs. But that's in the scriptures also. See, he can make the statement, "Oh, we eat like this, and if we eat this way, it'll heal us." But that's all up to Yahweh Shema Shai. But even still, the food that we eat is still defiled, man. Still got chemicals in it, and uh, 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 feces. The chocolate got feces in it. Um, um, the pops that Jake and them drink got sperm cells in it, stuff like that, man. Let me see. Ain't no way of escaping these curses. This is Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." Right? So, we all over the world eating defiled bread. Our food has chemicals in it, man. Chemicals, GMOs, ain't nothing, it's wholeness. Ain't nothing whole, man. Ain't nothing healthy, nothing, man. All of it is um, meant to kill us off, man.
Eat on the go type of a diet. If you look at a lot of our neighborhoods, the fast food restaurant chains predominate in all of the black neighborhoods. This is not
Right, and us eating on the go has a lot to deal with Esau and his system, his pit, man. Esau got it to where we have to work hours of work just to sustain ourselves in the society because they know that we got the curses on us. And then I'm going to finish playing.
a coincidence. When the black
Right, it's
community
not a coincidence. And then for them on there, we ain't got no time to sit down, do no type of studying. They just want us distracted, man, from what? The truth. The truth is that everything that's going on in the world is prophecy. And that Yahweh Shema Shai, well, Yahweh's going to send Yahweh Shai back to deliver us. But Jake and them can't seem to understand that or grasp that concept because they not, really not of the elect, but they can't sit down and even study any of this that the Lord got us bringing out, man, or even pay attention to any of it, any news or nothing. Jake and them trusting in Esau telling them that Russia our enemy and stuff like that. They not even, watching these other news sites and stuff of that nature, man.
came under attack by the CIA and FBI in the early 70s, late 60s, when the crack was dropped off in the 80s, the mass incarceration of black men led to the disintegration of the black family. Capitalism, seeing this, rushed in to capitalize on the fact that black people were no longer operating as family.
Right, because they divided the families. When they gave the food share, the WIC and all that, they required the man to be up out of the house, you know, and then they kept the women in the house upon the food share and all that, so the family structure was broke down because of Esau. But who does he mean by capitalism? Capitalism is talking about Esau, the white man. Man, even if he do say the white man, he won't say Esau. Esau is the main person, the one that's created this system, this society to keep Jake asleep, man. Us having to work and work all the time is keeping us asleep, man. Us not being able to sit down and watch, the truth or the prophecies is a curse unto us, man. But the Lord woke up His elect, and the elect gonna get it. All the rest of them not gonna get it, man. Those who not with us is gonna be against us, man. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse. No, not Isaiah. This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right, and the wicked is the elites, the Edomites, man, the elites, man. Those are the ones who are running this world right now, set up this system. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right, so Esau, the white man, is ruling this world, per se, the Rothschilds.
If we're not operating as family, we're not eating as family, which means that we're often eating alone and on the go. The fact that many black parents have to work 2 and 3 jobs to pay the bills dictates I got to get my breakfast on the move, my lunch on the move, my dinner on the move. So capitalism saw this and they said, hey, we can get paid off the fact that black people are often on the go and have to eat as they go, that they have to eat a low energy diet, a low income diet, and then on top of that, they're not eating as a family, which means they're spending more time outside of the home. So this situation, believe it or not, our diet is largely related to the systematic destruction of the black family. I'm going to go a step further, though. When we talk about diet, as a psychologist, we often look at the intersection between spirituality.
Right. And, I was just going to say that our diet messes with our spirit. But he's going to go into it.
And diet. And although food diet is critically important, thought diet is as important. I don't think black people, African people understand the extent to which how you think, every thought is a thing that manifests itself in your physical dwelling.
Right. So what type of thoughts should you have? This is Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth. Right. So your thoughts should be of this truth. But thou shalt meditate therein day and night, see, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. Right, so you're supposed to meditate on the truth so you can do all that's written therein. That means your food, diet, and everything is in this Bible. And if you want to act upon, your food, diet, you got to get the understanding from the scriptures first. It says, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then shalt thou have good success. And that's how the Lord established you. If you meditate on His scriptures and speak on this on a daily basis, man, then the Lord gonna make you prosperous and you're gonna have good success, man. Because that's what's required of us, man. And He's supposed to be bringing this out since He one of the so-called prominent leaders in our nation. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 20. Blessed is the man that doth meditate good things and wisdom. What's good? The truth, man. Your wisdom and knowledge and understanding is, or your wisdom is the truth. Wisdom and that reasoneth of holy things by his understanding. Right. He that considereth her ways in his heart shall also have understanding in her secrets. Right. So you got to consider the ways of the truth, man. In order to understand the truth, man, you got to meditate on it, man. It says, go after her as one that traceth and lie in wait in her ways. He that prieth at her windows shall also hearken at her doors. He that doth lodge near her house shall also fasten a pin in her walls. Right. he shall pitch his tent nigh unto her, and shall lodge in a lodging where good things are. Right, man. So in order to understand this, and make your way prosperous, you have to sit here. You got to sit and study, man. You got to study these scriptures, man. Scriptures say, "Wisdom, knowledge shall be the stability of thy time." This is what's gonna keep us stable in the times to come. Not no Pan Africanism, man.
You cannot think a negative thought except to create a negative thought molecule in your body. Every thought creates an atom, a molecule in the person. So a lot of the disease that we're catching is as much related to the impoverished diet as it is related to the impoverished psyche.
Right. So if you don't know how to think in general, as far as eating right, or don't know what to think to eat right, or how to eat right, if you don't have that understanding, that knowledge of how to eat right, then you're not gonna prosper, man. That's basically what you should be saying.
Thought processes of African people. Cancer is being triggered by negativity as much as it is by the foods that we eat.
Right. And the Lord created men for that purpose, man, to help Israel understand how to eat, or what to eat. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. Right. The physicians are made to heal you upon when you get sick, man. For the Lord have created him, for the Most High cometh from it says, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Right. So since he know how to so-called have us eat the right type of foods and stuff, he should be telling us that in Deuteronomy, or what, Leviticus chapter 11 is what type of foods we're supposed to be eating. It says, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth, the herbs, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Right, so you're not supposed to abhor eating the herbs, man, because those are meant to heal you, man. And then as far as eating the rest of the right foods, you will have to go to Leviticus chapter 11 and read that whole chapter, man.
You look at diabetes. That's being triggered by the anxieties and the fears as much as it is by the sugary sweets. One of the things people have often pondered, they say, well, how can we have vegans or vegetarians who are still coming up with cancer and they eat no animal products whatsoever? How do you explain this? With no trace of cancer in the genetics, so it's not inherited. You have to look at the spiritual diet and the thought diet. You can eat well, but that's only one aspect of reality. You have to think well, you also have to live well. And we tend to isolate these. Psychology over here.
Right. And your spiritual diet is of the truth, man.
Food over here, lifestyle over here. That trinity of lifestyle, food, and thought, or spirituality, is three aspects of the same reality. If you take care of one and neglect the others, you'll end up just as sick. I also believe.
Right, so you got to combine all those together. This is John chapter 6, verse 63. It says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the spirit quickeneth, bringeth to life. The flesh profiteth nothing, right? The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So if you want to live, you will have to come to the scriptures to understand how to live. That involves eating right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it, right? And that was the land of Israel. But Israel stopped doing that, stopped doing the truth in the land, man. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom, right? This is our wisdom. This is our understanding. This is us knowing how to combine our spirituality with our food diet, etc., etc. Keep therefore and do them, For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, right? In the sight of all these other these heathens out here, man, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who have the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for? Call upon him for us, like it. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law? Right. So us being doing these law, statutes, commandments, man, makes us a great nation. Us being of Israel makes us a great nation, man. It says, and what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law? Right. And our statutes and judgments is righteousness, which I set before you this day, right? So, if you want to know what righteousness is and live right, you know, Jake said to live right, you will have to come back to the law, statutes, commandments. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligent. That go that diligence, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, unless they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons, and that's what keep us in order. The fact that we pass this down from generation to generation to generation. We're not passing no Pan-Africanism down, you know, to our generations, man. That's why we can't establish nothing. Because Israel not coming back to the truth. See, you got us as the ones of us that's doing the truth. We came back to the truth, man. It says, okay, no, that's it.
That no matter how poor we are as African people, we can improve the quality of the food that we eat by educating our parents on how to prepare it for themselves. Okay, community gardens, and not only that, now the technology is such that you can grow crops in your house if you have the right technology. I know several Africans who have the farm indoors because they live in a place where they don't have access to land. So there's so many different ways we can improve the health of African people through education and opportunity. I think that's one area that we have to become more sufficient at. I think there's one area where our scholar warriors, who are very adept at that type of science, really have to step up and start giving back a little bit more to get our people on the right track.
Right, and you know, that's all good, no, man. You know, everybody not giving a lot to be a prophet. So the Lord used them to promote certain things as far as eating healthy and, you know, certain wisdom that they can pass out. But the ultimate wisdom is that of the truth, man. And, you know, you're growing the truth by, you know, gathering from, you know, the information that you watch, like these videos and stuff, man. That's how you bring the truth to life. By watching these little documentaries and documents, and then edifying Israel with, man. All right. Well, yeah, that's the end of the lesson. The video for the end. This is a good video to watch, man. You know, he go in on this information, but ultimately he just needs to just bring all the truth out because they know all the truth, man. But like I said, it's not meant for everybody to do it. It's, you know, there's an elect, man. But that's it for the lesson. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well. And salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth with sincerity. Shalom.